Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be emotionally mature? While many people focus on physical and intellectual growth, emotional maturity is often overlooked. It's about understanding and managing your emotions, building strong relationships, and making wise decisions. Imagine yourself as a wise elder, calmly navigating life's storms with grace and wisdom. This is the portrait of emotional maturity we are going to explore here. In this video, we will delve into 10 signs that indicate emotional maturity, guided by the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers. These signs will help you evaluate your own growth and provide a roadmap for further development. So, for the next few minutes, focus on the content and not on daily distractions. Let's begin. The first sign of emotional maturity is self-awareness. It's about looking inward, not in a narcissistic way, but with a calm, objective eye. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Don't shy away from these questions. Lean into them. Marcus Aurelius, in his own journals, reflected constantly on his own behavior, his own thoughts, always seeking to improve. This wasn't some self-indulgent exercise, it was a tactical one. Because when you know yourself, you can better prepare for the challenges of life. Think of it like a warrior preparing for battle. They know their strengths, so they can utilize them effectively. They know their weaknesses, so they can protect themselves. Self-awareness isn't about being perfect, it's about being honest. And in that honesty, you'll find the starting point for real growth. So take some time for introspection. Journal, meditate, simply reflect on your day. The more you understand yourself, the more control you have over your emotions and your life. Imagine a world where you didn't fear your own feelings, where anger, sadness, joy, they weren't these unwelcome guests, but simply parts of the human experience. This is the power of accepting your emotions without judgment. We're so often told to control our emotions, to suppress them, to put on a brave face. But the Stoics knew that true strength lay in acknowledgement. When you feel anger rising, don't shove it down, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, I am experiencing anger. Observe it without letting it control you. The same goes for sadness, for joy, for any emotion that arises. These are not weaknesses, they are signals, indicators of what matters to you. By accepting your emotions, you disarm them, you take away their power to dictate your actions. And in that space of acceptance, you can find clarity, you can find peace. The world often feels divided, polarized. It's easy to get caught up in our own perspectives, our own struggles. But emotional maturity asks us to step outside ourselves and practice empathy. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor, stressed the importance of understanding the common man, of seeing the world through the eyes of others. This wasn't just about being kind, it was about wisdom. When you can empathize, when you can truly understand where someone else is coming from, you gain a broader perspective. You see the world in a new light. This doesn't mean condoning bad behavior or letting yourself be walked on. It means approaching every interaction with the understanding that everyone is fighting their own battles. And in that understanding, in that empathy, we find connection, we find compassion, and we build a stronger, more humane world. Chapter 4. Life is not a straight line to success. It's a winding road filled with obstacles and setbacks. The Stoics understood this. They didn't just preach about it, they lived it. Marcus Aurelius, as emperor, faced wars, plagues, betrayals. He knew that adversity was not something to be avoided, but something to be prepared for. Resilience isn't about never falling down. It's about getting back up, stronger each time. It's about seeing challenges not as defeats, but as opportunities for growth. The next time you face a setback, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become stronger? Resilience is built in the fire of adversity. Embrace the challenges, learn from them, and emerge from the flames even more formidable than before. Chapter 5. It's easy to blame others, to make excuses, to play the victim. But emotional maturity demands something far more difficult: accountability. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, constantly reminded himself to take responsibility for his own actions, his own thoughts. This wasn't about self-flagellation, it was about empowerment. When you take accountability, you take control. You acknowledge that you have the power to change, to improve, to make amends. Don't waste your energy blaming others or external circumstances. Focus on what you can control, your response, your effort, your choices. This is not about being perfect, it's about being responsible. And in that responsibility, you find a strength that no one can take away from you. Chapter 6. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, patience seems like a lost virtue. But it's a virtue the Stoics held in high regard. They understood that good things take time, that growth is a process. Imagine a farmer planting a seed. They don't dig it up every day to see if it's sprouted. They understand that growth takes time, it takes patience. The same applies to our own lives. We set goals, we work towards them, but we mustn't become slaves to the timeline. Patience isn't about being passive, it's about being persistent while also accepting that some things are beyond our control. So practice patience, not just in your endeavors, but in your interactions with others, in your relationship with yourself. For in patience, you find a deep sense of inner peace, a trust in the process, and an unshakable resilience to weather any storm. Chapter 7. Holding on to anger, resentment, bitterness, these are heavy burdens to carry. They weigh us down, poison our thoughts, and keep us stuck in the past. Marcus Aurelius, despite facing betrayals and hardships, understood the power of forgiveness, not for the sake of the other person, but for his own peace of mind. Forgiveness isn't about condoning bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself. It's about acknowledging the pain, learning from it, and then choosing to let go of the anger. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and it often requires conscious effort. But the freedom you experience, the lightness you feel when you truly forgive, is worth the effort. Remember, forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of great strength, the strength to let go and move forward. In the midst of life's challenges, it's easy to focus on what's wrong, what's missing, what's causing us stress. But emotional maturity calls us to cultivate a spirit of gratitude. Marcus Aurelius, despite his position and power, made it a practice to reflect on the good in his life, the simple things he was grateful for. This wasn't about ignoring the negative, it was about shifting his perspective, about reminding himself of the abundance that surrounded him. Take some time each day to reflect on the good in your life. It could be as simple as a warm bed, a good meal, the love of family and friends. Gratitude isn't about denying the challenges, it's about choosing to focus on the positive, on the blessings that often go unnoticed. And in that gratitude, you'll find a renewed sense of joy, a deeper appreciation for life, and a greater resilience to face whatever comes your way. The only constant in life is change. Seasons change, circumstances change, people change. Fighting against this inevitability is a recipe for frustration and unhappiness. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that clinging to the past, to how things used to be, was futile. Marcus Aurelius, in his time as emperor, faced constant upheaval, constant challenges. His ability to adapt, to adjust his sails to the changing winds, is what allowed him to not only survive, but to thrive. Adaptability isn't about being passive, it's about being resourceful. It's about accepting what is, and then finding a way to move forward. So the next time you're faced with unexpected change, don't panic. Take a deep breath, assess the situation, and ask yourself, how can I adapt? How can I make the best of this new situation? In adaptability, you find resilience, you find strength, and you find the freedom to navigate the ever-changing currents of life. We live in a world of constant distraction. Our phones, our jobs, our endless to-do lists, they all clamor for our attention. But emotional maturity requires us to cultivate mindfulness, to find moments of stillness amidst the chaos. Marcus Aurelius, despite his demanding role as emperor, made time for reflection, for quiet contemplation. This wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity. Mindfulness isn't about clearing your mind completely, it's about becoming aware of your thoughts, your feelings, without judgment. It's about being present in the moment, fully experiencing whatever it is you're doing. This could mean taking a few minutes each day to meditate, to simply sit in silence and observe your breath. It could mean paying attention to the simple act of eating, savoring each bite. Find what works for you, and make mindfulness a part of your daily routine. For in that stillness, in that presence, you'll find a sense of calm, of clarity, and of connection to yourself and the world around you. In addition to being incredibly useful for everyday life, Stoic principles are teachings that can help us navigate solitude with interest and resilience. There is no place in their philosophy for fantasizing, but only for applying what is learned and moving forward. Embrace the benefits of having no friends and discover the strength and independence that comes from within. I hope you liked the video, and since you've made it to the end, share your ideas with us and write Armored Wisdom in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. See you soon.